I'm in Prince William National Forest. This is located near the Marine Corps base at Quantico, Virginia. And this is parking lot E, like Edward. That's Scenic Drive coming up from the visitor center. Scenic Drive goes around in a big loop. Down there where the crosshatch area is where the trail I'm going to take crosses over and goes across this area here with the picnic tables, and down there is the trailhead. So first hike of the season. It's kind of cold here, so I got to get moving. It's below freezing at the moment, but we're going to go down here, pick up this Cascades Trail and follow that down to Quantico Creek and go around in a great big loop about 5 miles or so down to the Pyrite Mines and back up this way in a big loop. There's my little red car. So let's get started. It's cold here. Here's the Quantico Cascades Trailhead. Got your standard signpost there, some information there, and we're going to head this way. Tenth of a mile into my hike, just passed a whole ton of blown down trees. We had a really bad storm come through here a couple weeks ago, and it's blown down a lot of trees. Anyway, just came out of the woods there. You come out of the woods and you'll see this signpost here in this road, so turn left and head on down the road to the left, down this way. Just keep following the yellow blaze. Two-tenths of a mile into my hike. You just come down this road a short ways to the very next turnoff, and you see the blazing zigs off to the right there with the yellow blazing. So when you get here, you want to turn and head on down this way to the right. Six-tenths of a mile into my hike, and this is where the Cascades Trail crosses North Valley. You see, it's that one's blazed blue. Here's where I came from. So when you come up this way, you'll cross this trail here, North Valley Trail, and you'll see that sign over there. It says Geology Trail. Just go straight across. Geology Trail, and down there is a yellow blazing. Just keep following the yellow blazing. It's about another half a mile to Quantico Creek. Seven-tenths of a mile into my hike, and this sign here will tell you that this is what they call the fall line. There's three sections in Virginia. You've got the Blue Ridge Mountains, and then east of that you've got the Piedmont region, which is where I am now, And right there's the fall line where I'm standing. And then from here on, we're going to be dropping down to what's called the coastal plain, which includes, you know, the areas around Potomac River, Chesapeake Bay, and the Atlantic Ocean. Here's what it looks like. You can see the drop-off right here. Over that hill is the drop-off. And we're going to be going down there. Quantico Creek's down there. So we're going to continue on this way. Nine-tenths of a mile into my hike. And this is the North Fork of Quantico Creek. That's looking upstream. A little bit of a drop off here. And then that's looking downstream. Two miles into my hike, and we're starting to come through the area now where the Pyrite Mines were. They were mine shafts that went down more than 1,000 feet below the surface. And the pyrite was refined to get sulfur, which sulfur is used for lots of different things. The sign there says soap, fertilizer, paper, medicines, and explosives. So I'll wander around here, get a few shots. Here's the ruins of one of the buildings here. Right there you can see the foundation. And there's another one behind that. So This whole area down there, I see some more foundations. Here's the trail. And right over there, just a little ways, is Quantico Creek. Here's where it came from. So I'll wander up here and get a few shots of the Pyrite Mine ruins. Here's one of the areas that's got a pretty large amount of concrete foundation work and steel still here. This whole area here is all concrete foundations over there. And then the earlier pictures I shot were a little further up there on that hill. So not much left. There's a sign over here. I'll go over here and see what this thing says. .3 miles into my hike. That's where I came from. North Valley Trail. The Pyrite Mine building ruins is back up that way. Come down here about another 1/10 of a mile, you'll see this footbridge, and this sign says to overlook in Pyrite Mine Road. So that's the way we're gonna head. So we're getting ready to cross over Quantico Creek, and I'm gonna keep following this until we get to a little overlook area, and I'll show you that when we get there, and then maybe sit down, take a rest, and have some water. .5 miles into my hike, and this is one of the mine shafts right here. I'll try and get a picture of the there's these big metal poles on each corner, one there, one over there, something in the middle there that looks almost like a vent, one in the far corner, one over there, and then Quantico Creek is right here. So these mine shafts were drilled. The sign back there said more than 1,000 feet down. So Virginia Department of Mines came in and sealed these things up a long time ago. Anyway, this is one of them. .6 miles into my hike. This is the Pyrite Mine overlook. I took a picture of that sign explaining what's going on here. This was on the other side over there where the trees are now. There used to be a huge stamping mill. There's a picture of it there. And it polluted Quantico Creek so bad that nothing would grow over there. There's what it looked like in, there's what the hill over there looked like in 1994. Nothing over there. So in 1995 they started reclaiming the land and planting, they planted 5,000 trees and shrubs. And I mean, it's kind of wintertime here still, but it looks real nice here now. And Quantico Creek, excuse me, Quantico Creek runs clear now. It doesn't smell like sulfur anymore, so they did a real good job cleaning it up. They put in this platform here where you can sit and enjoy the view. I'm going to sit here and eat a little lunch. It's a little early, but this is a good spot for me to eat, so I'm just going to grab a quick bite here. So just past the boardwalk and the overlook where I ate some lunch is this foundation here. It's a little hard to get over here. The trail is over there. Maybe you can see that blue blazing on that tree. The recent storm we had blew down a bunch of these trees. So you'll have to climb over or under them to get over here. But anyway, here's another little bit of the ruins of the mine. Three miles into my hike, I'm down to the very southern limit of the hike. This is where I came from. I came from that way, and this road here is just on the very outer edge of the park. In fact, that tree right there has a sign that says boundary. So I'm going to turn here and go across this bridge and start working my way back. .2 miles into my hike. I'm working my way back on this old road. I just came up that steep hill from Quantico Creek, and right over here is another one of the mine shafts. You can see the four corners, and there's that one pipe in the middle there with that weight hanging off of it. So, mine shaft number 2. .2 miles into my hike. I just finished hiking up this road, Pyrite Mine Road. There's where I came from. And this is Scenic Drive here. And my car is up that way about a mile or so. I'm going to go down here to this parking lot, which is parking lot D, like Delta. And just past there, I think there's a cemetery. So I'm going to go over there and check that out. And then I'll turn around and start hiking back up this way to my car. Yeah, so here's a little family cemetery here in the park. Last name is Reid, R-E-I-D. And the parking lot's right there. So if you park in parking lot D like Delta and come over here to the left, you'll see it right here. That one says Joseph Reid, 1875 to 1941. There's Morris Reid, 1902 to 1926. And then there's, I guess, a baby over here, no name. And over there's a parking lot. This is a map of today's hike. The quadrangle name is Quantico, 1994. And I was hiking in Prince William National Forest along the North Valley Trail. And we also went and visited the Pyrite Mine ruins. Now, this isn't a real good map of the park because it doesn't really show all the trails and it doesn't show where all the parking lots are. So I kind of just drew them in approximately. Down here is the park entrance. You come in and you turn left on Scenic Drive. Now Scenic Drive comes up here and then it splits off into a huge loop. And it goes all through really the entire park. The campgrounds are up here. Big circle back down like this. And the parking lots are numbered when you're coming in and you're going counterclockwise like this. They're numbered or lettered starting with A. So A, B, C, D, and eventually you get yourself to lot E, which is right here. So you park here, and then you'll see a trailhead. There's a picnic area here. You'll see a trailhead leading off into the woods. This is called the Cascades Trail and is blazed yellow. So you just follow this trail through the woods, and along the way you'll cross a couple other roads and trails. When you get over to about here, you'll notice on the map you start crossing a whole lot of these contour lines. Right about here is the high point, and there's a sign here that says that this is the fall line, and this is where the Piedmont region of Virginia drops down to the coastal plain. When you get down to here, there's some, I said falls here, but they're really more like small cascades. This is the North Fork of Quantico Creek. And so you can see the cascades here, and then you basically just start following it. When you get down to here, follow it downstream. When you get down to here, this turns into the North Valley Trail, which is blazed blue. So just keep following that downstream. And you follow that down for quite a ways until you get down to about, I don't have it marked exactly on here, but starting about here, this whole area down through here is where the old pyrite mines were. There are some ruins of buildings up in through here. There's a sealed mine shaft down this way, so you can explore all that. You come on down here and loop back around this way, and you'll be on Pyrite Mine Road, which is a gravel road that takes you back up to Scenic Drive. You come up the hill a little ways, and right in here somewhere you'll find another mine shaft that's been sealed off to the right. Follow this on back up the road here. When you get back up to here, you'll be back on Scenic Drive at Lot D. Now remember, I'm parked up at E up there. But what I did was I turned left and I came down this way just a little ways to here. And this is where that old family cemetery was. It's not shown on this map, but I think on an earlier map or on some other map I saw that there was a cemetery there. And there is. And so then after seeing that, then I headed on back up this way, back up to Lot E. This is my first hike for the year. The weather here has been cold and rainy, and we had a huge windstorm which actually closed this park for a couple weeks. They had to clear more than 1,000 trees in the park before they could reopen it. So it's almost the end of March, and this is my first hike. From here on, it's still a little too cold to hike up in the mountains, I think. So I may do a few more local hikes, maybe in this park or elsewhere around close to home here before it gets warm enough for me to head back up into Shenandoah Park. But eventually I've got more hikes planned for Shenandoah Park this year. Anyway, the GPS track on this thing ended up being 5.2 miles and about 3 hours and 14 minutes. It's pretty flat. Total ascent was only 450 feet. So that's a nice hike. You can get it done in 3 hours or so. And all the trails are well marked, and nothing really strenuous about this hike. And that was the hike for today.